Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about use rejection to your advantage. So rejection actually can be a huge gift, right? And it's a good idea to see it as such, to see it as a gift, because often when we have rejections, especially if they're really big, heart-wrenching rejections, that is usually when we get to ponder and really think about how we can improve and how we can get better. Okay, so I welcome things like failure, which I guess in another way is rejection, because I know for myself that it's going to make me think and it's going to help me get better and it's going to help me do more and become more and improve. So that's the same way that you've got to see rejection as well. You've got to see it as an opportunity to get better. See it as practice. So you don't have to take it so damn personally, because obviously it does suck. It doesn't feel nice to be rejected, obviously, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel a bit bummed out if you walk up to a woman, ask her out, and she says no, thank you, or ew, right? That's it's okay to feel bad after that has happened, but it's about how long you stay feeling bad, right? So you got to see rejection as practice. And if you want to feel better about getting rejected, and if you don't want it to sting so much, then I would recommend getting rejected a lot, right? This is really easy if you're a student. Let's say you're like on a college campus today, like go out and talk to like 80 different girls on your campus and ask them out, right? Obviously maybe ones that you find a little bit attractive, so if they do say yes, then you're going to be happy with who you went on a date with. But you got to go out and get rejected a lot, and then if you do get rejected a lot, it's going to become less intense. You're not going to mind as much, and also it's going to help you with your social skills. And if you're worried about getting rejected, and if you're afraid of approaching women, then you need to grow up, right? You gotta grow up. You can't be afraid to go and approach and talk to someone. Okay. Now you might be like, well, yeah, but she's gonna call me a creep, or she's gonna call the police. Not if you're not creepy. Not if you don't hang about. I mean, I'm not saying that you should linger. Like, the best thing to do, but this is the way that you do it so you don't come across as creepy. Now, some women may find you a little bit creepy. There might be some things you can't change, but they're not going to spray pepper spray in your eyes, at least if you do this, okay? So when you see a woman that you think is cute, be like, okay, I'm going to go up to her and ask her out. So you go up to her and you're like, hey, my name is whatever. My name is Joe. What's your name? And then she'll be like, oh, my name is da, 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 da. You're like, oh, great, it's nice to meet you. Anyway, you caught my eye. I think you're really pretty. I would really love to take you out. What's your number? And if she likes you, she'll give you her number. She might give you a fake number if she's just trying to brush you off, or she might just say flat out, say, no, thank you, I've got a boyfriend, or no, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, I'm not really looking to date. Whatever, right? So that's the way that you do it, okay? And then if she rejects you, so you don't come across as creepy or weird, be like, okay, well, I hope you just take it as a compliment, and then you walk away, right? You don't stick around, you don't try and say, you're not sitting there apologizing for ages, you're not trying to have a conversation with her, just, okay, please take it as a compliment and walk away. And you say, have a nice day. That's all you have to do. Okay, and you won't come across as creepy if that's something that you're really worried about and concerned about, and you're worried that someone's going to do you in for sexual harassment or whatever, okay? If you come across like that, it's not going to be a problem. So you got to be able to grow a pair basically, right? And go and talk to women. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. If you've got social anxiety and you're anxious about talking to women and you get afraid about that, you got to grow up. You got to grow up at some point. So you might as well try and start doing that today. Okay. Now, obviously, if you're not in a place that is abundant of women, then you may have to do this in other places. Like if you go out to the local shopping center or mall, if you're in the United States or somewhere else in the world that calls shopping centers malls, you go out and see where there's loads of women. And if you're worried, for example, there's a this is how I got a bit better at talking to women and talking to people in general. There's a shop in the UK called Boots, right? And in Boots they have like these perfume counters, okay? And there's usually someone, like a woman usually, on these perfume counters. And what they do is that if you're interested in buying some expensive perfume, what they'll do is they'll give you a sample. They'll go and spray some from the sample bottle onto like these little pieces of card for you to sniff, right? So what I would do is I used to go up and talk to these women and be like, hi, I'm interested in buying this perfume. I'm also interested in this one. And then I'll smell them. And then I'll be like, what's your opinion on that? What do you think of this perfume or that perfume? Which one do you think is better? And then I'll be like, okay, well, this one. And then I'll be like, because I was quite broke at the time, I was like, great, okay, thanks. I'll probably go for this one, but I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go and shop around for a bit, right? And I wouldn't come back, right? But that's something that you can do, and I'm pretty sure you can do that in places where they sell cologne as well. If you're a guy watching this, right? You go in. Another thing as well, you might want to go into like a shop and ask a woman about a woman that's working there about ties, like which tie do you prefer? I'm thinking about buying a tie. Which one do you think is better? Which one do you think suits me better? Right, it's just about getting better at talking to women. So you can start off by doing something like that, by talking to women in shops who are working there. And of course, you're not trying to get their phone number, you're just practicing talking to them, okay? Because you don't want to be really hitting on people too much when they're at work, unless you feel like that she's really, really attracted to you and you can tell she's really attracted to you. Okay, but most of the time you shouldn't be trying to hit on women while they're working, because they're just trying to do their job, and it's very likely that they've got boyfriends. It's also very likely that they can't really be slacking off right now and just standing there chatting to you because their boss might be watching them. So it's important that you're just using this as practice, unless you really, really, really do feel like the woman is attracted to you. But it's a great way that you can get some practice in and to grow up, essentially, if you feel so afraid of talking to a strange woman who you've never spoken to before, okay? So that's one of the ways that you can gain confidence as well. Because just imagine how good you would feel if you could approach anyone and be able to have a conversation with them. Just anyone. You'd feel pretty good. You'd feel pretty confident if you was able to strike up a conversation with anybody. Okay, so first of all, practice in shops, then you can go on to practicing people that you may see in the supermarket, or like I said, if you're a college campus, someone, who's another student at this college or whatever, or women that you talk to at work, things like that, okay? So you got to see it as practice and not to be afraid, okay? So, another thing as well is how to use rejection to your advantage is that you want to use it to fuel success for yourself in other areas. And there's a thing called sexual transmutation that Napoleon Hill talks about in his book Think and Grow Rich. And basically what this means is that you can use your sexual energy, like your desire for someone, or you can use the pain of rejection from a woman from the opposite sex, to help you become more successful, because it can inspire you to do better. And maybe you're using your dark side a little bit here, and you're like, I'm going to show her that I'm a worthy man. I'm going to show her what she was missing by becoming successful in these different areas, right? So you're using this energy, this feeling of love, or perhaps it's a little bit stifled, right, because you're upset that she rejected you, but you're using it for good. It's like you're transmuting this bad energy, or it could be good energy like love, and you're transmuted it into something useful so it can propel you to have a better future. And that's a really cool way that you can use rejection to your advantage, right? And it's a really cool way to use it, because you're using it to inspire you instead of to beat you down and make you feel rubbish about yourself. Because a lot of guys, they get rejected by a woman that they really, really care about, and they don't forget about it, and it haunts them for years, and it makes them feel miserable, and it affects not only their relationship with that woman, but the relationship with all women that they encounter in their lives. And they hoarded this resentment, and a lot of guys who get burnt like this go into like the really dark side of like red pill and things like that. So you want to use it to fuel your success. If you feel hurt, if you feel damaged, then try and find a way to make it into a useful energy, and to help you go harder at the gym so you become more better in shape, so you can fuel success for you in like monetary standards, or in a hobby or career or something like that. Just use it for something positive, okay? So that's my video on how to use rejection to your advantage. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.